I ordered these Speedweves mostly because my boyfriend works in construction, and it is very unfortunate how many times he has ripped his pants at work. I think these would be a good solution because it adds a protective layer on top of the hole, and I think this will help the longevity of the patch instead of just placing one underneath. We'll see. I didn't get to test it out because he immediately ripped a hole way too big for these in his last pair of pants. So he has all new pants at this point. But I have this shirt, and I tried it on for the first time in a while and discovered 2 tiny holes underneath. And now, looky there, another one. Didn't even know about it. We can get that one too. Now I know red on red is not the best for a tutorial, but my original plans to fix pants were kind of destroyed, so we'll just have to do. The first thing you need to do is take off this band. Elegant. Absolutely elegant. And we're gonna shove this one up under here, and I'm gonna do the top hole first. Now stretch it, and oh wow, it's really faded. But you're gonna stretch it kind of tight, and then slide this into place. We're gonna do it on this side, that way this seam isn't in the way. And then just slip this over the whole thing. Try and keep it tight on all sides. And there we go. Now normally you would do the whole damaged section at once, but this extends a little too far over here, so I'm just going to focus on this part here, and I'm going to try and anchor the stitches in this seam, and hopefully this isn't too damaged to hold the stitches. Basically, it's a mini loom, and this turns these little hooks and puts one thread up and the other down. I went ahead and threaded my needle with 2 threads of embroidery floss, and I left the end untied. What you are going to do, and I choose to go at an angle to the side instead of straight up, thread it through, and it's a good idea to leave a couple of inches hanging off. I'm going to adjust these a little bit so the hooks are standing up. And I'm going to bring it up, wrap it around, pull the end tight, and bring this down. Pull it through. And we're going to do this all the way across to here. I am going to cut this, leaving a good amount of tail. And complete the step again. So going in, leaving a bit of a tail, hold it, go to the next hook, come back down. Create a little stitch here. Pull it in nice and tight. And then I'm going to cut off the needle and leave a tail. A little more information about how I ended up getting these. I looked all over the internet, but it appears that you can only get them 2 places. The first is eBay, which obviously has almost everything in the world, and Etsy, which I think most of them have the same sellers for both eBay and Etsy. And to complicate things a little bit, at least when it comes to shipping times, all the sellers are in Russia or Ukraine. Yeah. So it took a while to get here, but it did, in fact, better than a lot of the postages I've had. Not postages. A lot of the packages I've had lately, because the seller got it out right away. So I appreciate them. I will need to link it below. If I don't, someone jab at me. Because this was admittedly expensive. It was like $150. But some of my boyfriend's work uniforms are, I think one of them is as expensive as like $500. If I could save some of his clothes, I will do so. I wish you could just go up and down with one thread, but this will pull these down in the end and make it like nice looking and finished well. Now, since you have to thread in and out all the way across these, I typically don't use a regular needle. I use an upholstery needle. I think this is a good size because you can fit it all the way across. And with weaving, obviously you have to push your threads down at some point, and because it goes so far, I think this is an excellent choice. They do not come with one. I had to buy it separately. I'm going to go ahead and start on this side just because my setup works a little bit better if I start here. And yes, this needle's a tiny bit big for this project, but you know what? So is the other needle in the opposite direction. Now I'm going to start by pushing these all the way over, and we're going to go under all the ones that are lifted up. And with any weaving, you're going to make an arch. We'll make a little bit bigger one. And I thread it back through the other way. Oops. And push it down. And then on this side, go up. Pull through while not looking at the camera screen, so you can actually do the thing. Flip these and go the other direction. I skipped one. Oh well, it's an example. You're dumb on camera. Or at least I am. do a nice little arch. We'll go over here, thread this up. Another dumb thing I said is I'm gonna do all my stitches in here, and then I didn't. Happens. Alright, so that covers the hole pretty decently, and I'm not going to go all the way up here. It seems slightly unnecessary, so I'm just going to take off this little rubber band. Yeah. And then I'm going to scooch this thing up and get all these off. And what you do for this is you just pull down the string, have those tighten up, so kind of like that. Pull, 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 pull. This is hard to do on camera because I block a lot of it. Let's try and find that end string a little bit. There's so many strings. This one, tighten that up a little bit. And there we go. Boop, boop. Let's see if we can find this one. I'm pretty sure it's the first set right here. It's hard to grab just the two that you need, but we'll try. All right. Now there's a bit of a little hole here. I'll just make sure to pull this when I sew it down up over it a little bit. If I have to do another one, I have to do another one. This poor shirt. The final step would be to take all these ends, thread them through to the other side, and then tie them off. Since this is an armhole, and a very small space, I'm going to go ahead and just do that off camera. Was this the best tutorial ever? Nah. Is this the best pat job? Nah. But you know what? I just wanted to share these things. They are a very fun way to patch your clothes. And ultimately, I have one nest hole in my armpit and I love it. Okay. Bye.